courts in Kenya came out to declare the housing levy unconstitutional. In fact, this housing levy has had a lot of debate on it, where Okia Omtata went to courts to bar the president from collecting this levy. You know, the way this housing levy is raised is by cutting taxes on people who get salaries so that they can get money to build houses for Kenyans. And when this case went to the courts, the courts declared it unconstitutional. And to me, I see that it is a scheme of fighting William Ruto so that he cannot do anything good. You know, Raila Odinga has mastered the art, okay, of fighting his competitors not to do work so that he can have a leverage in the second term. And I'm going to explain this better. When the courts came out to rule that the housing levy was unconstitutional, Raila Odinga came out and said this statement. Here is the tape.
For even though they say there's a stay, my view is that the matter still remains unconstitutional. And therefore, I would urge all the employers to immediately stop paying anything. Because you'll be acting unconstitutional. The court made a very fundamental pronouncement that this matter is unconstitutional. Period.
Yes.
It's unconstitutional. A stay does not make it constitutional.
So that is Raila Odinga for you. In this episode, I've come to talk about why Raila Odinga normally uses different tactics of preventing his competitors from doing work so that he can use it as a basis in campaigning for a second term, what it means for the Kenyan politics, and why I think Raila Odinga is very much more dangerous during the second term, and most importantly, the study materials we can learn from the politics of Kenya. But before I do this, I want to let you know that if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. There is a lot of content of this nature. If geopolitics and economics is what you want, this will be definitely the right channel for you to subscribe to. First of all, the housing levy is aimed at providing affordable houses to Kenyans. But the way it's being handled by the Kenya Kwanza government is not how it's supposed to be handled. During the previous regime, the governments of Uhuru Kenyatta used to get different court orders barring it from performing some things. And I think here William Ruto made a mistake. But we must also interrogate this. Normally, Raila Odinga, the way Raila Odinga performs his politics is by itching his opponent. I regard Raila Odinga as an itching opponent. It doesn't allow you to perform. That's why even after the 2022 general election, he immediately went to the street. Okay, he did different protestation and different mandamanos until a bipartisan talk was established. But even amidst bipartisan talks, there were talks of going back to the streets. Raila Odinga is an opposition leader who is such that he doesn't allow you to perform. That's why on every second term of an election, Raila Odinga comes out as a winner or almost a winner. And I'm going to give you more examples. In 2007, it was the second term of Kibaki. Raila Odinga won this election because in the first term of 2013, he didn't give room for Kibaki to perform. So by the time they went in the second term of 2007, he used that basis to oppose Kibaki. Fast forward, in 2013, it was the first term of Uhuru. Raila Odinga never allowed Uhuru to perform. That's why in 2017, Uhuru performed dismally to an extent that the courts nullified the election.
That the presidential election held on 8th August 2017 was not conducted in accordance with the Constitution and the applicable law, rendering the declared results invalid, null, and void. Number 2, a declaration is hereby issued that the third respondent was not validly declared as the president-elect, and that the declaration is invalid, null, and void. Third, an order is hereby issued directing the first respondent to organize and conduct a fresh presidential election in strict conformity with the Constitution and the applicable election laws within 60 days of the determination under Article 143 of the Constitution.
This is replicating during Ruto's tenure. We all know Ruto was elected in 2022. But Raila Odinga is fighting hard not for William not to get a positive thing. Because I know one of the very many projects William Ruto wants to perform is a housing project, which he would want to use as a tool of campaigning to gain the second term. And even Raila is hell-bent in frustrating this effort. That's why he's fighting hard not for the housing project to take on in Kenya. Although me, as a person, I want the housing project to take off in Kenya so that people can get affordable houses. During a visit in Bungoma, William Ruto came out and said that the housing project must go on and that he's not going to relent on this project. William Ruto has had this to say. Here's the tape.
The Constitution of Kenya, Section 25 of the Constitution of Kenya, mandates me to explain if there is a problem, if we cannot raise money to do housing. We have a plan on how to raise money for housing. I have no explanation to give. This program must move forward for the benefit of millions of Kenyans across the country in terms of employment and in also making sure that ordinary Kenyans can also access affordable living. Kwa sababu hii mpango inaendelea mpaka pale tutamalizana na mambo kule kotini.
So that is William Ruto. I think William Ruto is on the right course. If William Ruto does not come out and perform well and build these affordable houses, which have been at the center of his contribution to the country, he will lack what to use as a political achievement to achieve the second term. And by this way, Raila Odinga can come out and use it against him. So William Ruto must fight hard amidst the court orders and amidst the challenges by Raila Odinga. He must come out and work hard so that he provide the affordable housing in Kenya. So for me, I think Raila Odinga is an itching opponent who doesn't allow his opponent to work so that he can gain a leverage in the near future. Of course, that's my opinion. Do drop me your comments by commenting about this. Thank you very much for listening in. If this is your first time on this YouTube channel, I implore you to subscribe, like, and comment so that I can be motivated to do more of such videos. I'll see you on another one. Peace.